Hey everyone, Presito here. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about bitmaps, which have just blown up in popularity. Basically, people are seeing it as the metaverse on Bitcoin. And you can see already over 100,000, this was a bit of an old image, but over 100,000 have already been inscribed. And keep in mind, there's only 750,000 approximately Bitcoin blocks. So once it reaches that amount, the only way to inscribe more is to wait for each new block to be mined. Then you can inscribe that new block only after it's been mined. So there's a finite amount, but it will slowly increase in size as Bitcoin blocks increase. And this is actually such a cool idea, tying Bitcoin blocks to plots on a metaverse. So minting a bitmap gets you an inscription which will represent your land plot. So let's go more into detail about what bitmaps are exactly. So it's an open source standard that allows anyone to ascribe ownership of a Bitcoin block by inscribing it onto a Satoshi using ordinals and the bitmap standard. This process is completely fair and decentralized as well, which is really pro. So with bitmap, any block can be inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain, making it part of the metaverse. Platforms can pass this data into the 3D realm and grant build access to block owners, creating a new paradigm for an open source development. And among the available blocks are a number of Satoshi blocks, which were mined by Satoshi himself in the early days of Bitcoin. And there are many such blocks which have a historical significance, and obviously that would add value to it. And later in the video, I'll be going over some of these significant blocks and so on. So it was created by Blokamoto, as you can see here. Here you can see the phases that he's announced for bitmaps. And currently phase 6 is coming up, which is official.bitmap index app. And then shortly after, core GitHub rollout. So let's start with the basics, everything you guys need to know. So first up is, how do you view bitmaps? So you can go to bitfeed.live and type in any Bitcoin block and it will show you that block. So if we look at the first ever Bitcoin block, you can see here it was in 2009 and this was for 50 Bitcoin, which is valued currently at 1.33 million. And it was just one transaction on this block. Let's go to 100,000, see if it is a bit more blocks. So here you can see there was 4 over here for 103 Bitcoin valued at 2.7 million. So now we're close to 750,000 blocks. So if we search block number 750,000, we can see how it looks now. These are all the transactions within that block, which is 2,496. And that block is valued at $1.67 billion, 63,000 Bitcoin. So it's really interesting to have a look at these and see how they're all made. It almost creates a sort of graffiti, so to speak. And also what the team of Bitmap have stated is they'd like to fork this, the visualizer, and create a sort of a map. And the map would show which blocks are taken, which are available, similar to Sandbox and Metaverse games. So that is super interesting once they come up with that, because at the moment, you kind of have to find for yourself which blocks are still available. So obviously block 1 won't be available. Any of the early blocks probably all minted already or inscribed. But a tool was created called Bitmap Finder, which generates a list of available bitmaps using various strategies. So strategy, you can choose random, consecutive digit, or substring. So let's say I want to find consecutive digits. Let's say I just want to make 10. Minimum block number, I guess the lower the block, the better. So let's just do that. So let's generate 10 addresses here. And this is going to tie into inscribing the actual bitmap. So here 10 have been generated, and I'll actually inscribe these myself later on when I show you guys how it exactly works. I'll probably refresh it just in case someone inscribed one of the lower block numbers. But anyways, let's have a look at how you can search for bitmaps. So you go to search on unisat.io, you go to text, and then you type in the text. So let's say we actually want to find that block number 10,000. So we go 10,000.bitmap. So once we search, we can see there are actually 4 over here. So you might be asking yourself, well, which one is legit? So there's 2 main ways to have a look at which is fake and which one is valid. So the obvious thing is the block must actually exist. So if someone inscribes block number million, it doesn't exist yet, so that won't count. It can only count once it has actually been mined. That's first. Second is which out of the remaining ones, so these are all inscribed when it actually exists. You take the earliest one. So this one was on the 8th of June, and these were on the 14th, 14th, 17th. So these are not valid. The only valid one is this one. So that's how you can tell. Let's take another example, block number 100,000. So here there's two, and this one on the 8th of June again is the only legit one. This one will not be legit. So that's how you can tell which ones are valid and which ones are fake. So in case you're wondering which block we are currently on the Bitcoin network, you can go to mempool.space and check at the top right here where it says the numbers. So 795,054 is the current block. That was 10 minutes ago. There was 3,010 transactions on this block. So that's how you can simply see it. And then you will know what we are roughly at. So next up, and most importantly, how do you inscribe bitmaps? So it's really straightforward actually. Let me just connect my wallet to the site. You're gonna have to connect your Xverse or Unisat wallet to Unisat. Now my wallet is connected to Unisat. So what I'm going to do is, this very helpful tool gave me these 10 available ones. So let me just click generate again, and I will wait for these to search on Bitmap Finder. And once these are loaded, I'll just copy all of them, go to Unisat, inscribe, and then text. Then you want to click on bulk. Make sure you click on bulk if you're doing multiple, and copy and paste all of them. So here are my different bitmaps. So now I'll click on next, next, and I will do custom fee. I'll set it just a bit higher just to make sure it gets done quick. Submit and pay invoice. Pay with wallet, and it'll pop up, and sign and send. So there we go. I have inscribed some bitmaps. So now you can see that the payment is received. It's busy inscribing, and then I can actually go check out these blocks. So these, let's see, 333610. If I go on Bitfeed and search that one that I just inscribed, that looks quite pro. Quite happy with that. A nice big block there at the bottom, and it's got a lot of transactions, and it's worth 500 million. And people actually talking about whichever blocks were mined with the most transaction value, and this one was 18,000 Bitcoin. And I'm actually curious to see some others that I got here. So I got this 217,773. You can search it over here. Let's see this block, 637 million. That's quite a bit. I hope I get one over a billion. That'll be quite proud to be part of the billionaire club. 200 million, and yeah, I mean, you guys can do this on your own and search. It's really cool, I must say. I'll probably inscribe some more. It's quite fun. 144. So my base was almost 700 million. And then once they've been inscribed, what I do recommend is to go back to search here and search the one you got, just to make sure you were first. So you can see I searched the one that I inscribed, and there's none here. So that means I was first, and it will pop up here eventually when it's all done. So that is how you inscribe them. Then if I want to go get some more, let's say I just do some random and click generate. So I'm just going to do this as well, just to get some more of them. So I'm just going to copy this, go back to inscribe, text, bulk, paste, next, next, custom again. Let me make it a bit higher again, and submit and pay invoice. Pay with wallet, sign and send, and done. I've inscribed another 10. So you can see it's really easy. It's kind of a lottery in a way, that the block that you inscribe is somehow valuable. And in terms of how to determine which ones are valuable and so on, you can have a look at various things. For example, this block, 57,043. That's where the pizzeria will be, according to Jorge. I think I said that right. But reason being, this was the block where someone paid 10,000 Bitcoin for pizza. You can see at 10,050 Bitcoin, $267 million currently for those pizzas. And this was block number 57,043. So if you minted this block, obviously this one will be minted already. Then congrats, because this one will likely have significant value due to that. You can see this was taken on the 4th of June already by this address. They were first for 57,043. Anyways, let's have a look at some other significant addresses. The block in which OXBT was deployed, 789,000. We search that here on Bitfeed. We can see the block that it was deployed on. And you can see how many transactions were part of this. That is all really interesting. Let's have a look at some more. DGod's NFT. This is the block it was part of, 776,408. Then, as 8-bit sat says, 628282 was the first block minted by Binance. So that should also add some value to this one. You can see it here. First block by Binance. So it's really interesting to see all of these things. And one of the Silk Road blocks, it's 265,871, was one of the 3.27 billion transaction value, which is quite crazy. So, as I said earlier, people are looking at being in the billionaire Bitmap gang, where your block is worth a lot. You can see this guy got a one worth 8.8 billion pounds, which is quite crazy. And you can see not many inscribed already. I mean, it's over 100,000 already, which is a lot, but there's still 600 and something thousand left. So you can still get in, but it could be fully inscribed out eventually. Obviously, it's a big number, and I'm pretty sure many of them will be worthless, and people will be hunting the ones that are really valuable. And what's also really cool at the moment is people are inscribing ones that look like punks. You can see here, this person inscribed one that looks like a mullet punk, and the shape of the visualizer almost looks like a punk. And this is actually block number 113229. And I searched that and it does look like a punk. So people are giving value to these blocks as well. So likely these will be more valuable than others, of course. So it's all really interesting what's going on. I'm curious if this is also going to be integrated into the Metaverse somehow, because it's shaped like a punk or not. Also keep in mind, this is sorted by a certain way, so it might jumble up as well. So anything is possible, but I'm quite bullish on these bitmaps. They're really interesting and it's got a ton of potential, especially if the devs manage to make something really cool out of it. So hopefully you guys learned from this video. Hopefully it was helpful. I'll appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel, join my Telegram and my Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.